Hello YouTube gang, welcome back to Anime in a Nutshell. Today I will be reviewing and rating Jujutsu Kaisen. And let's be real here, we all know this anime is good, but today I'm going to be telling you guys how good it is. As usual, this rating will be based off its story, animation, character and character development out of 10, along with the MC bitch meter which will be rated out of 5. There will be some spoilers here during the review, and your immersion is at risk. Now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's get into the video. Gang. Jujutsu Kaisen introduces us to main character Itadori Yuji, who shares similar character traits to your average shonen main character, who places high value on life and that everyone should be treated equally. The story of this anime is set in place when Yuji eats a cursed object, known as Sukuna's finger, who is also known as the King of Curses. One may be asking, why would Yuji eat a old ass finger? Well, you see, Sukuna's fingers attract other cursed spirits to it, and when Yuji and friends were being attacked by a spirit, Yuji ended up eating the finger so he could fight off the cursed spirit. However, by doing so, Sukuna gains control of Yuji's body, or at least that's what everyone thought would happen. But that's not the case here, because my boy Yuji is able to keep Sukuna under control. As far as the anime goes, no one knows why he's able to do this, but the act of Yuji eating Sukuna's finger itself proposes him an ultimatum given to him by the ever so great Gojo sensei, and Yuji can either die now or die later after he's collected all of Sukuna's fingers. Yuji decides on the die later scenario, of course, but you see, this is why you have to love Yuji. He doesn't choose a second option to postpone his death, but instead he chooses it just so he can get rid of Sukuna's fingers, so there will be less cursed spirits resulting in less people dead or injured. Once all of this is said and done, Yuji transfers to Jujutsu High and starts to train as a Jujutsu sorcerer. The story of this anime is phenomenal, which is why it's getting an 8.5 out of 10. This anime, while it's not going to break the shonen genre by doing some next level shit, it's still amazing. I really love the collecting aspect of this story that gives you an adventure feel. Don't get me wrong, this anime is in no way a full-fledged adventure anime, but the characters going around and collecting Sukuna's finger gives you the illusion that it is at times. We also have this certain mystique when it comes to the story, where I for one was always asking, why is Gojo sensei so OP? As well as, why can Yuji control Sukuna? But for me, it wasn't like, hey, why the fuck is this happening? They're not explaining anything. It was more like me just being so interested and absorbed into the story itself. But that isn't to say that the story doesn't have any faults. For example, the story is quite linear. We have Yuji who goes to school and trains as a Jujutsu sorcerer, while he also goes on missions and gets a little stronger. Nothing too new here. Moving on to the animation, let's just say thank you so much, MAPPA. You guys are killing it. Amazing work on Jujutsu Kaisen and the new season of Attack on Titan. And it's clear here that we can say that the animation looks fucking beautiful. The art style and the characters are drawn so well, which gives them a super polished look. But that's not even where the animation shines, because this anime has some of the best fights in the anime genre. One thing by itself that this anime has consistently done so well is just it throws fights into your face pretty much every episode. But they're all done so well, and they don't take any shortcuts, so I don't mind at all. Let's take Demon Slayer for an example. And the fight scenes in Demon Slayer, one might say looks beautiful, swift, and elegant. But on the other side, Jujutsu Kaisen has more of a wild and fun nature to the fight scenes, which I absolutely love, which is why animation is getting a 10 out of 10. This anime has enough eye candy to give you diabetes, with its amazing fight scenes and its quality art style. On a side note, this wouldn't be a proper Jujutsu Kaisen review if I didn't mention its amazing soundtrack. The opening 1 and ending 1 in this anime were just straight fire. Opening 2 and ending 2 were alright, but nowhere close to how great opening 1 and ending 1 was. And then we have some of the sick OSTs, like when Gojo sensei breaks through the barrier on episode 20 and the Powerless God OST starts to play. That moment was just so fucking epic, and the OST matched so well with the animation at that point. We also have the Hollow Purple OST, which was just as good as the Powerless God. But now on to character and character development, and let's start off with Yuji. And I love his character. He's extremely funny and understands the value of life without being too over the top, like some other shonen characters. Naruto, I'm pointing at you. We also need to give Yuji the credit he deserves, as he's also extremely humble, and he doesn't strive to achieve anything huge like becoming the Hokage or the #1 hero. Instead, he just wants to save as many lives as he can, to the point where he often puts others before himself. And this nature of his may be due to his grandpa telling him to help others, and that when he dies, he should die surrounded by people. Speaking of the people that surround Yuji, how about we talk about them? And oh man, I could spend hours on end talking about the characters that surround Yuji, as they're all amazing in their own right. Let's take Gojo Sensei for example. This man is off the charts broken. As a character, he's just plain badass, and his carefree and loose personality makes him a fan favorite. Every time this guy fights, he just demolishes his opponent. And then we have Fushiguro and Nobara. And Fushiguro just gives out the good kid vibes, and he's the type of guy who is never late for class. But then we find out that this upright good citizen Fushiguro beats the crap out of delinquents when he was in middle school. At a first look, Fushiguro is quiet and secretive, and doesn't really talk much, but his character itself still felt very impactful. But this may be due to the fact that he is surrounded by such outgoing characters like Yuji and Nobara, who kind of bring out the extrovert in this introvert. And speaking of Nobara, her character design is just great, and she is hilarious. She wants to be recruited as an idol, for example, but it's like she's just not that cute, so she gets declined. She's very outspoken and used to live in the country her whole life, but her wild personality and outgoing nature works well in this anime, as she and Yuji love to tease Fushiguro, which brings out some funny moments. And that's the thing that this anime does so well compared to other top titles, is its character interactions. The interactions in this show were just really funny to watch, and it seems like all of these characters were just made to complement each other. I mentioned earlier the dynamic trio, Yuji, Fushiguro, and Nobara, who kind of bring out the extrovert out of Fushiguro and forces him into these situations where he kind of needs to speak. But then we also have the dynamic duo, Toto and Yuji, and oh man, every single time these two are together, it's either an amazing fight or just some extremely funny scenes, where Toto says some of the most random shit, and Yuji, being the simple-minded guy he is, just kinda goes along with it. The characters in this anime are extremely likable. We have so many more amazing characters, like the other students in Jujutsu High. They were all great. I don't think there was a single character I disliked in the anime, maybe other than some of the Kyoto sorcerers. As for character development, this show progresses well, and the characters progress with it. Whether it's Yuji coming to terms with killing these human curses, or Yuji learning new battle techniques and how to control cursed energy. We also have other characters like Mahito, who develops as a character as he learned his domain expansion. I know learning moves and getting stronger doesn't really contribute too much to character development, but this is a shonen anime that puts a lot of emphasis on self-improvement. Character and character development is getting a 9 out of 10. The characters in Jujutsu Kaisen are fantastic. Each character is unique in their own right, but they all seem to interact with each other so well. Character development will be taking a minor hit because as far as character development goes, other than Yuji coming to terms with killing human curses, there isn't much besides the characters getting stronger. Well guys, it's time. Time for what? Well, it's time to... Just kidding, I had to insert that there. It's time for the MC bitch meter, guys. And my boy Yuji is clearly not a bitch. Are you guys fucking kidding me? This guy's an absolute beast. He's getting a 5 out of 5 on the MC bitch meter. Yuji as a character never backs down. He's so willing to put others first and just has so much dedication to saving every life that he can. Yuji is honestly one of the best shonen main characters, as he doesn't try to overachieve then whimpers when he gets beaten. Instead, he just tries his best to help others. Overall, Jujutsu Kaisen is getting a 9.3 out of 10. This anime back when it came out in fall 2020 just looked good to me, but it completely blew my expectations as the fights in this anime and how well the characters interacted with each other was simply mind-blowing. We're also getting a movie for Jujutsu Kaisen that will be covering Chapter 0. Hopefully we get the release relatively soon, as I'm still waiting for the Demon Slayer movie, which will be out very soon. As always guys, thank you for watching. If you liked the video, please drop me a like and subscribe, as well as comment below on what kind of woman is your type. Peace out.